African time. Let's now unpack this, continuing with that story on Starlink, and we're joined on the line by Arthur Goldstuck, who is analyst and technology commentator and founder of technology market research organization Worldwide Works. He's also editor-in-chief of gazetted.co.za. Arthur, thank you so much for joining us. How are you on this Tuesday?
Thank you. Good morning. Very well, and you?
I'm good, thanks so much. So this move by Minister Malatsi to gazette an amendment to the State Information Technology Agency Act, it's seen as something that will clear the way for Elon Musk's Starlink to operate in the country. In what ways exactly will it do this?
It certainly clears the way for Starlink to operate in South Africa, but it also clears the way for any other operator to operate that kind of service in South Africa. And the way it works is that they have a satellite constellation that is capable of providing high-speed broadband connectivity anywhere in the country. Now, bear in mind, there's vast areas of South Africa that are not connected. They're either inhospitable because of mountains, or they're isolated because they're in semi-desert areas and the like, where it's simply not economically feasible to lay down fiber or even to put down cell phone towers. And satellite connectivity fills those gaps. But at the moment, satellite connectivity is very expensive and it's very slow, because the satellites that provide that kind of connectivity are in fairly high orbit. So the signal that comes down is a very slow signal. The lag is very high, but it's also exceptionally expensive. A system called VSAT has been in use for a long time in this country, but it's only used by big organizations, large-scale farmers, and some government entities. Something like Starlink, and they're not the only ones, but something like Starlink will provide a far more accessible service at a far higher speed, because they use what are called low Earth orbit, LEO satellites, and those give you high-speed access. The cost is a lot lower. It's still not accessible to someone who doesn't earn a reasonable income, because it'll cost more than 1,000 Rand a month to access. But if you think about someone being able to get the equipment, which will cost about 10,000 Rand, put the equipment anywhere in a mountain, in a valley, in the middle of the desert, and they can then provide a mobile hotspot for other people in the area. So what's initially a high cost for an individual would be quite accessible by a small business or someone who wants to resell services. So it's a great entrepreneurial opportunity, but it also brings access where no access is currently possible. And it's a great example of how the current rules have actually held back development in South Africa, because they haven't helped anybody get access in those circumstances, whereas changing the rule to equity equivalence then makes it possible to bring access, and it boosts investment in the country. So it baffles me that people would actually object to something like this, because it may just benefit one person or organization. The reality is it benefits the country as a whole.
What are the legal issues around these proposed amendments by the minister?
Well, as people have indicated, there's a law in place that dictates a 30% black ownership of telecoms organizations, and that law has to be amended. And that's currently what the minister is working on. But if you look at the laws affecting the ICT sector, information and communications technology at large, you have that equity equivalence in place. It's been in place for a long time. And the result of that has been that large multinationals like Microsoft and Amazon have invested heavily in this country, not just in infrastructure, but also in skills development. We've had an organization like Cisco, for example, training thousands of people in networking engineering, and many other examples of the same kind because of these equity equivalence rules. So it's really boosted skills in this country in a very big way. And what this amendment will do is bring telecoms in line with the rest of the ICT sector. So the reality is that telecoms currently is out of line with the general rule for ICT organizations. It's not the other way around. And that's what the critics seem to misunderstand.
Starlink is already in operation in 18 countries on the continent of Africa. What are the chances, in your view, of the Independent Communications Authority of South Africa approving this, or ICASA approving this?
Well, if the policy is changed, if the law is changed, then it's ICASA's role to facilitate the rollout of licensing in this regard. The big issue is going to be for those organizations where they already had the 30% investment and where suddenly they feel that they are having to play by different rules to the newcomers. So that could be an issue. But the truth is, if the policy directive goes through, then it's ICASA's role to implement it.
Some, as you say, have criticized this move. How do you see that the different groupings of those who say this is a pro-Starlink or pro-Elon Musk move, and others are saying no, but this is a pro-black economic empowerment within the ICT sector move? Which one do you think it is? I know that's a bit of a political question.
It's in between. It's a pro-investment move, and it's also pro-development. And that's really what has to be the ultimate deciding factor, not who gets to benefit. And unfortunately, that mindset has held back development in this country because some interest parties, let's say, benefit. The politicians on one side or the other of the table object, not because of what it'll do for the country, not because of the actual terms, but because of someone might benefit that they object to. And I think that's what they call a dog in the manger approach. If I can't have it, nobody else can have it. And that holds back the country. Yeah.
Well, we'll leave it there for today. Thanks again for your time, Arthur. Always great chatting to you on Channel Africa.
Thank you, Asanda.
Thanks. Goldstuck talking to us there about this move to have amendments made to our State Information Technology Agency Act and how that can impact Starlink being able to operate in South Africa. Arthur Goldstuck is analyst and technology commentator, founder of technology market research organization Worldwide Works, and also editor-in-chief of gazetted.co.za.
Are you fluent